sides, towering over me, vast pines, to which the Indians reserve their mind, closing right in front of me. Here is the deer, but as I closely peer, it's a trick that lifts my feet, left here to stay indefinitely. I'll be regretting this day. There is no way. There is no way to release my leg. There is no way. There is no
All right, hello and welcome to Monday Night Indy Fixed, week number 3 from Phoenix. And this is broadcast by Race First and Matt Houston, joined by Gary Godso in the booth. How's it going, Gary?
Welcome to the track that NASCAR ruined.
Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit. How we're going to deal with this this particular.
I just decided to go right there and just
You
forget
went
it.
right there. We didn't even mess with it. We didn't work our way into it. But yeah, we certainly here in Race First we prefer the Legacy track. But we're going to be running this one tonight. We don't make the schedule. We've got. Bringing up the grid, we're going to have demerit on the grid if this works correctly. It hasn't been quite recently, but we've got... Okay, we don't have it correct here, Gary. So we have demerit on the grid. You got those grid. I know Musselman was second.
I have Sid as second, Oscar Sid, Musselman third, Romero fourth, Shattered P5, Hassan P6, Santos P7, Luttrell P8, Miranda P9, Hysong in P10. Starting at P11 is Geisler, P12 is Sousa, P13 Silva, P14 Aguiar, P15 Ragon, P16 Mercer, P17 for Porty, P18 Baroni, P19 Eric, P20 Francis, boy, he's coming deep in the field, P21 LDR, Dakota is back in 22nd, and Washington is 23rd.
Well, I guess that answers our question. Either Dakota spun out on his lap, or he decided to take the infamous no-qual. So we're waiting for all the cars to grid. I don't think anybody's going to be taking a start from the pits here because you're going to go down a lap doing such a thing. But
yeah. Well, the thing that if you actually qualified good and then wanted to start from the pits, you might not lose a lap. But at that point, you're kind of ahead of all of the of what potential carnage going on here. But this is a traditional IndyCar track. The IndyCars have been coming here. Prior to coming here, there was the Arizona State Fairgrounds. And then starting in the 60s, they were a regular fixture here. For the most part, from the 60s through the mid-80s, there were 2 IndyCar races a year here. There was a longer one in the spring and a shorter one in the fall, a 200-miler and a 150. Actually, at one point originally, they were both 2 150s, and they chose to make the spring one a little bit longer. But since '86, it was only one visit a year by the IndyCars, which made the race a little bit more prestigious. They chose the side of the IRL when they did the IRL split, so the IRL did some of their races here as well. Then for the longest time, we didn't see them until about 2016, and they returned And we got some big-time speeds to talk about when those DW12 chassis did some qual laps here.
Yeah, what was our pole speed in terms of lap time here? Do you have that number? Probably in the 19.5s, I think.
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that information right now. But what was lap record speeds? Like a 19-second lap, something around there. 194, I believe. Castro Nevis. Are we doing one lap here? I believe, yeah, because this is a one miler. We've got one lap, and we're going green here.
We're going. Green. Pole sitter takes off.
Yep, that's the smart idea.
You see these guys with the high downforce package, something we haven't seen yet this year. That's a big front wing and a much larger rear wing.
And
side by side for third.
Demerit. Oh, we've got Diaz Francis. Is that no? That's not correct. That is another Necki car there. Gonzalo Romero there in third. AJ Musselman through the dog leg.
Yeah, the track record is an 18.8 set by Helio Castro Neves in the 2017 IndyCar, so the last iteration of the DW12.
All right, we're getting.
Can you imagine 194 around this place?
Yeah, I mean, I bet that was flat out. Is what I'm guessing. I don't think there was any lift in that thing. I mean, it's pretty fast. We know the speeds. We've all driven it here in iRacing IndyCar. Think about going maybe a second faster than that, what they were running here. Demerit's kind of checking out, 1.2 seconds up the track. So we're running 85 laps here tonight, 85 miles.
So we're looking about maybe lap 20 to 25 for the window to open. And with the size of this field, we're already kind of stretched out. He's not too far away from lapping the field here. We're only a few laps in, and he's only less than 5 seconds away from Thomas Geisler.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Thomas there. Did he start from the pits on this one? I might have given Thomas some bad ideas over in the VOR series about starting from the pits.
Well, we're all waiting for the carnage that happens on these 1 mile ovals typically, but you just got to keep in mind this is the strength of field race, and these guys typically know what they're doing. Of course, they wouldn't have those numbers if they weren't racing clean races. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
but you know, everyone's human.
And I just have to say, I feel like these races with this tire model, these short track races have become a lot cleaner than they used to be with this tire model. Kind of reduced grip from what we used to see with the old tire model.
Check out this battle back here for 8th, 7th, and 8th, 9th, 10th.
That's actually what we were looking at on
good.
the broadcast.
Yeah,
Shadid,
I was kind of watching the leader, but these guys are really kind of going at it. See when they go through turn 3 here, each one kind of has a bit of a different line, getting a little extra air on the front wing there. Even as far as kind of dipping a wheel below that yellow line, which you're kind of on your own if you do that, but it seems to be working in this case. And that's Miranda.
Ooh, I saw Santos really knock those. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. Those cones at the dog leg getting knocked around. But I think as the tires begin to wear on this setup, so our fastest lap is obviously the leader is set the fastest lap, no dirty air there, but he's running about a 22nd lap, 20.3 last lap. As these tires begin to wear, I think that high line in the corner, we see him kind of running pretty low on that yellow line. We might see that high line to start to open up in turns 3 and 4. On board with Miranda here, looking at Santos.
Kwame Eric is your big gainer. He's up 5. So he's in the mid-pack, but he started almost shotgun on the field, and he's worked his way around.
Really close racing. I saw Miranda stick his front.
Here's a battle coming into with Santos and Miranda coming into turn 3. Looks like Santos had a very bad exit of turns 1 and 2. And if you're not very familiar with it, here they're side by side in the front straight. He's going to have to let him go.
Santos.
Turns 1 and 2 are much smaller radius. then 3 and 4, and then you have this dog leg in the back, which makes this track kind of unique. It's a little bit like Nazareth, not quite. Nazareth a little bit smaller, and it kind of had that odd dog leg, and more was on their front stretch. But this has kind of been one of the more unique tracks in the northern North America for ever since really Trenton. When Trenton was closed, Trenton was looked like a kidney bean.
I was just about to ask you about Trenton, Gary.
Yeah. Trenton is basically where the dog leg here goes left, and Trenton the dog leg goes right. So it actually opens up turns 3 and 4 to a wider radius. Turns 1 and 2 at Trenton were pretty tight. In fact, that's what they modeled turn 1 at Pocono after.
That's right,
so that's Trenton. But since that closed in the 80s, this is kind of the more unique track, especially since Nazareth closed. Here's Miranda taking another aggressive move on the inside there of Shadid. Shadid, he's off the pace there. He might have had a very bad exit off of turn 4.
I can think of one other course that might be like that, Gary, is one of our favorites, I know, is
Disney?
the Walt Disney Motor Speedway. Very short history over there, but that was a 1 mile...
tri-oval, as a matter of fact.
Tri-oval, exactly. Yeah. So, wish they'd have gotten to scan that one before they made it a parking lot. I think over there at the Disney World...
They don't need much of an excuse. I mean, iRacing Superspeedway has kind of proven that. So,
yeah.
If they really, really wanted to, there might be a licensing issue there with the name of Disney in front of it. But
well, we knew that there was also the licensing issue. Remember, we all were saying Coca-Cola Motor Speedway or Coca-Cola Super Speedway is coming out, and the day it was supposed to be released, they're like, "Oh, we've got some legal issues with this one, so we're just going to call it iRacing Superspeedway."
So the Merritt's gotten around Geisler up front. He's about 1.7 behind now, P23. Like now, we're pretty much all single file all the way through the pack for the most part.
Yep. Shout out here to the P5 position. This is a guy we haven't seen.
Trevor Luttrell.
Exactly. We haven't seen him on the broadcast here in the Strength of Field race, but he's getting a good run in here in the top 5.
Arrow McLaren Schmidt-Peterson livery.
Not on my end. I might be having a trading paints issue on my end.
Maybe I'm having a trading paints issue.
Could be. What would be... I don't know. I have like AJ. I know that's AJ's livery. Okay, it looks like the Merritt is definitely... Yeah, he's lapped Geisler and Raffaero. Dakota, it's the next target here. Dakota running the digital camo Sunset Arctic livery. He wanted that kind of camo desert livery here because we're in Phoenix. So
apparently, didn't want to see him coming.
Yes.
So kind of a virtual who's who of IndyCar racing has won here, but this track has a really good reputation of giving drivers either one of their few wins or their first win or their only win. Going back in history, the one that I remember the most is 97 when the IRL came here, and that was a true David and Goliath struggle between Jim Guthrie and Tony Stewart. That was a heck of a race back then. But Roberto Guerrero's won his first race here. Ari Leindyke won his first race here. Kevin Kogan won his only race here. Swede Savage, if that name is familiar, going back into the 70s in USAC history. He fortunately died at the Speedway. He won his only race here. Robbie Gordon won one of his few races here. Teo Fabi won one of his few races here. This is a very interesting course. This doesn't really play to favorites. There's really no more one driver with 4 wins at this track, and that's about it. AJ Foyt, of course, and Al Unser are probably the 2 on that list. But for the period in the 80s, the early 80s, Tom Sneva really ruled this place. 80, 81, and 82. He drove off 3 straight here, the gas man did. So he's one of the legends of PIR. But there's many other names that PIR has set in IndyCar history, and those are just some of the few of them.
I knew where you were going with Jim Guthrie. That was his single win, and then I remember he expanded and had a couple of cars at that 500 that year, and then not too long after that, he's kind of disappeared from the series. So
yeah, he had a pretty. I think he leveraged everything he had on top of the winner's purse that he got here in PIR, and even though it's not called PIR anymore, and took it to Indianapolis. Got some sponsorship from Jacuzzi of all people. An interesting thing: the one thing that failed on his card was the water pump.
Well, I wonder if a lot of people with those jacuzzis have a water pump failure at some point, I'm sure.
And we are cautioned, and I heard a geez, we're sorry further in the pack. Daniel Raffaello, maybe? Daniel Raffaello, there he is.
Yep. And that was a lapped car, probably having some issues. Dakota has gone down a lap. Washington did not. So Raffaello did tow it to the pits. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, he smacks the outside. And it collects Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
Tommy D got collected, unfortunately.
So earlier this season in the Lionheart Series, Lionheart IndyCar, I did something very similar. Definitely had an apologies to the driver that I slid down on the track with there. But
so, you got a decision to make here. Do you go for the track position and hope that there's another caution with a field with this good of a rating? We're at a 3.7 K strength of field right now. Or do you pit because the window is open to go to the end? So I believe they're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to slap some freshies on, fill the tanks up, and go to distance.
Yeah, we see the two lapped cars stay out. That is Dakota DeMade and Thomas Geisler.
And they're kind of teammates in some other series, so they're going to work together.
Race first drivers. Say it as it is, Gary.
They're going to try to work together to, and they are going to badly need a caution. Yeah. So they won't have enough time after the wave around to stop and get new tires and everything. So they're going to badly need a wave around and another caution in order to get back on schedule with everyone else. But good news is they're back on the lead lap.
With that said, AJ here is a race first driver too in the Lionheart Speedway, and he's running the top 5. So we can talk about better performing race first drivers here. So Demerit's going to lead after the pits, no surprise there. Romero second, Oscar Sid third.
Bruno Miranda up 4. Kwame Eric up 7. Pablo Francis, remember he started really far in the field, and I made note of that. He is up 7. But those are the big gainers. Most everyone is kind of gone up 1 or 2 from their respective starting spot. Those are the only ones that have really made headway going forward.
Yeah, it's really tough to make up positions here. Yeah, this is kind of how I expected it. We were talking a little bit before the race, Gary, about I thought it'd be. I mean, there's positions to be made, but it's a lot of the time it's going to be single file.
Yeah,
even with these short oval wings.
And that's how it was in the old days, anyways. When the IndyCars were here in the 70s and the 80s, for sure. There wasn't a degree of side by side exciting racing. But there was, some good racing still to be had. A lot of that had to do with most of the time getting that run off of 2 when a car handles badly there, getting alongside and completing that pass in the 3 and 4, and then setting sail for the next car after that. They're getting the wave around right there.
Yes, they are.
But traditionally, it's pretty much a single groove racetrack, although we have seen that the high groove is working here, and that's at both ends. So turns 1 and 2, the high groove is really where you want to be to try to pass and definitely to defend. 3 and 4, not so much. I think you can actually 3 and 4, if you stay on the bottom, it's actually the better way to go. But you might try up high to defend a little bit, and that will give you a good run and protection going into turns 1 and 2.
I think the thing that differentiates this race here in iRacing from real life in terms of that high line being such a thing is that we don't have to worry about marbles as much.
No.
If there's marbles, they're barely much of anything, and if they were there, they get cleaned up.
If they were there, they would not be doing this right now.
They get cleaned up every caution is what would happen as well, even if we did have them. So,
But we're in the air.
Green flag once again.
Santos side by side with Luttrell going into turns 1 and 2. Can't really go. Miranda's kind of stalled him a little bit right there, and now that's Hassan. Excuse me, Hassan actually.
Hassan and Santos inside.
Hassan had the draft, and actually that's what pulled him around. See, there's that high side working on the in favor. Ooh, almost gets the wall.
Nearly a little too on the high side though is Hassan.
Santos going to try to make this bottom line work. See right here. He doesn't quite clear him. Now he's cleared him.
Ooh, yeah. Just barely. There he did. I see Carlos Diaguar also having maybe an issue. I'm showing him in 23rd. Not sure what happened there. But here's where Geisler and Dakota DeMade are hoping for that caution. Saw blink out of Kwame Eric. Yeah, he's blinking a lot back there behind Pablo Diaz-Francis.
And everybody pitted on that stop, other than the guys that needed the waiver round. So there's nobody on an alternative strategy. You could have, if you wanted, stayed out, and if you probably got another 2 more cautions, maybe made it to the end. But you would have been on ragged tires, to say the least.
Yes. 2 laps ago, not the last lap, but was Demerit's fastest lap of the race with those fresh tires and lead.
What'd you get down for that lap? That was
20.075 is what I've got.
Okay,
for it.
20 flat. Yep.
Yep.
There it is. There's another caution.
Okay, well,
LDR. No. What happened?
LDR's in that. Is Dakota? No, nobody else. I think it's just LDR. He's trying to drive it back. Let's get a replay of this, see what happened.
Oh, and the Masked Devils there, unfortunately. That's a big hit for them.
Ooh, something happened ahead of him, and he got involved with it. I think Tyler, who was having a great race, Luttrell, he got in the wall. I think it might have been on the exit of 4. Oh man, they went 3 wide at the dog leg. Let's see what happened. I'm still...
Ooh. So it was a game of ping pong. It was a game of ping pong. And his hole filled up a lot quicker than he anticipated, and it shaved off a side of his car there. But that was kind of a ricochet, and he lost the steering and then ended up going across the track. And I know guys are like, hold your brake, but actually if you hit the wall good enough, I mean, you could break your brake from braking. Yeah. So you can't, there's nothing you could do. You're kind of along for the ride. So
he's become a sled once the wheels come off too. So I think it was one of the Necky cars he got into. And then unfortunately, not Tyler, but LDR got involved with that, just trying to pass through. He looks like he's still rolling, but yeah, he had more heavy contact in turn 1 as well.
For a second, I thought I heard Dakota on the radio there, so I'm like, uh-oh. But now Dakota gets to stop and pit, so he will have the freshest tires out of everyone else, not by a lot, but he will have about 10 lap newer tires. That last stint was only a green flag stint was only about 10 laps, and he'll have fuel to definitely go to the distance. So watch Old Dakota there from the rear, maybe try to storm forward and take advantage of those slightly newer tires.
We've got LDR still circling the track with maybe 2 good tires. And we're getting a good look at the special effects Spark model of iRacing.
He's just trying to get some extra laps here under caution.
So, yeah.
He has the meatball, I'm sure.
Because when he puts this in the pits, it's not going to let him do anymore.
Yeah. He's done.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he has the meatball. The meatball, you have X number of laps that you have to answer it. In fact, actually, if those number of laps and you have less than those laps to go in the race, you can complete your race and not get a penalty. That's kind of a weird thing. But here he is. It looks like he's pulling into his spot, and as soon as he gets there, I'm sure we're going to see him disappear.
Yeah, there. Yeah, when you see only three, one tire completely missing, then that's done for the day. I saw the rear wing repair itself, but he is done for the day.
Well, the iRacing Trike Series is not quite taken off yet.
No. It might not be FIA sanctioned for, I think it has to be a four-wheel car, 4 wheels to be considered a car. That goes back to the Delta Wing thing. The Delta Wing was originally going to be a 3-wheeler, but I think they had to change it because, to be a car, it had to have 4 wheels. So.
Well, getting ready to go green. Lights are out on the pace car.
Pretty quick cautions here, but yeah, that's our second of the night.
Hearing some back markers, or not back markers, but some guys in the back saying, "Hey, everybody, be careful." So I think that they're just now wanting to get to the finish. We're a little over, or about halfway there. Actually, we are halfway there. So if it should rain, the race is official.
Romero starting second, green flag.
Oh, look, we got a 3-way battle for turn 1 right there with AJ, Santos, and Miranda.
Taking a 3-wide on the inside. I think AJ just said, okay, I'm going to get to the end of this one.
Discretion and valor right there. Discretion wins out.
We know AJ to be a smart driver, not overly aggressive.
And we know Santos to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, kind of the opposite mentality there.
Right.
Well, he might be streaming this race here, and he's got a crowd to please. So, that's how he's going to drive.
But he's got a team car right in front of him, so they are trying to together work their way up to the front.
Yep.
Oscar Sid, teammate there. Remember, Victor, rule 1 of racing your teammate.
Do not wreck your teammate.
Wreck your teammates. Miranda side by side with AJ going into 3 and 4. AJ has the preferred line going through 3 and 4. He'll exit slightly faster, protects the position, and holds it.
Kind of the preferred line, but also the riskier line in terms of... if there's some contact there, it's the one where you get killed and the other guy doesn't.
Right. You run out of room really quick on the exit of 4. There's no doubt about that. So if you're not anticipating it, and there we get another caution.
Yeah, I heard some crunch
of
carbon fiber.
I think Eric is the unfortunately.
We got 2 cars, including a Necky car.
We got one of the Necky cars and Eric there.
That is Diaz Francis, who has had some bad luck in the races we've been broadcasting. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he has been able to roll to the finish with the level of luck he's had. This one's going to pretty much.
He runs into the back of Eric here. Reminiscent of a crash that I had here previously. So, bump drafting does not work in the corners here. And Eric goes around.
Well, just needs to be a little bit of give and take here. Yeah, just... you know what that is? And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean, that's just cracking your throttle just a little bit, man.
Just a little bit,
you are faster than the guys ahead of you. Just take another lap. I don't understand why he just couldn't pedal that one just for another lap. He was clearly faster.
Yeah.
And it just cost him the rest of the race. So I don't think Kwame did anything bad. I think just Pablo made a bad decision and probably is regretting it.
Yep.
So no one's going to pit, although some people can pit for...
I'm surprised, like Thomas and Dakota didn't pit. Anybody at the back, I would just stop for some new tires. Like, if I'm at the back anyway, I'm just going to stop.
You got nothing to lose, and you do have 3 sets, so you can't carry them over to the next race. They're not carryover.
Guy, Romero decided to pit. I'm not sure why. Did he get some damage or something? He also just
thought it was pretty much a 2-car.
He also just might have driven out of a closed pit. Let me look at this here. Was he involved in anything back here? I don't know. He was in second. So this is a gamble, is what I think. Yeah. Interesting strategy. And like I said, he might have driven out of a closed pit, but that's not going to matter. Oscar Sid. So this is going to be a possible exciting finish here with Sid and Santos, P2, P3. We saw them making up ground on the last restart.
Yeah, and they are definitely taking advantage of the restarts. They are
Yeah.
getting great jumps on the cars in front of them. So we weren't really sure about this race going in. We thought this could be a quick one, and it could be caution-free, but we're now at 3 cautions in, and actually I'm kind of surprised that we're 3 cautions in, to be honest.
Yeah, this is the most cautions we've had on this Monday strength of field time slot. At the end of the day, that's the strategy that Thomas and Dakota were going for.
Wait till we get to later in the season when we go to Dover, and is Daytona on the schedule?
Let me think here. I believe that it is.
Oh, man. No excuse. None.
That's going to bring in a kind of a different crowd, Gary. That
You think so?
Yeah. The strength of field is going to have some different kind of names in there that are none of the names here at the moment.
You're going to see a lot of Club Carolina, Club Florida, Club Texas, Club Tennessee. Yeah,
I can guarantee you, AJ here will not be in that race. We know AJ's feelings about Daytona and an IndyCar. I'm talking the oval, so I think we're safe to say that.
Yeah, Gonzalo Romero did pit on lap 50, so he has a fresh set on. He's 2 laps into his stint, and he's good to go to the end. Let's see what happens as the field's now under control of demerit.
Let's see what these second and third place guys can do.
So let's see how hard P3 and P4, or P2 and P3 are going to race each other here. Or are they going to cooperate to run down the merit?
So fastest lap of the race here between these two guys, Oscar, Sid, and Santos, is from Sid. But now Santos taking the high line, that preferred line. He's going to have the position.
Each giving a wide berth of room there. Santos, a little high exit, almost hits the wall a little bit. Yep.
Well, we'll see if we can keep it caution-free to the end. Marcio Baroni having an issue. He got
Hassan almost into the turn 2 wall.
Yeah, you can really see them pushing that exit sometimes, and I just think they're going to crash into the wall, but somehow they get through it.
There's Miranda getting into contact here with Sid. Sid had a couple of bad exits. I'm wondering if that arrow push as a third car is really starting to impact him.
Yeah, he might have used up too much of his tires in that stint. Now we've got Miranda on the outside.
Yeah, he's going to complete that pass into one. Not quite. Sid's making it difficult. Still has a wheel there into the dog leg that's been ruined by NASCAR.
Yes, it has. And like we said, I don't know if you guys saw the social media tweet. We were running Phoenix at some layout here. Could have been the Roval.
Hassan with a good pass there, slightly on back. He's taking a look at AJ now.
Yeah, I thought he had it, but...
that flat black car.
I've seen him running, and this is the livery he usually runs. So I've seen him, even going back about a year ago in Indy Fix, this is what he was running. He has a style.
Caution. And I'm not sure who it was.
It is Carlos Washington, I believe.
Yeah, oof.
Let's see here. Are we getting the replay up? It might be back a lap.
Oh, there's multiple cars. Oh, okay, all right. This all started over in the far end of the racetrack, and it ends on the backstretch.
Yeah, there's a lot of slicing and dicing here. We've got a Neki car below the apron. Let's Oh yeah!
Oh,
Whoa! He did a little
runs
bit of
up
a
on-
Marcus Ericsson move there on the
Oh,
straightaway.
almost gets Dakota. Now he's trying to control it down the backstretch or into turns 1 and 2.
Really good evasive action.
Nacho, he got Nacho.
Oh, Nacho's got a busted.
And then he runs into
Carlos
runs into him again. And then I don't know what's going on there. That seemed a bit deliberate to me. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm willing to take that. But
yep, I would say
that's
something
pretty deliberate.
like that happened there, Gary.
and I don't know, did something happen like the lap before that caused him to get upset at that, or did he think that maybe
okay, well, there was I think that Romero, I think is what it was. I think he thought that Romero came up high on him and put him in the wall.
Nacho is in that. I think Nacho's a lap down also in that car,
that
too.
That was Romero, not Nacho, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Nagy car. Thomas was in there, luckily not involved. Yeah, I'm just looking at the replay one more time. Man, Thomas almost got killed. So this is Romero comes high on Washington. Sends Washington into the wall. Romero keeps going, but with a damaged right rear. Like his right rear tire is either flat or it looks like the suspension was broken. And then, like you said, then there's more contact after that. So possibly some tempers flaring here.
That might be protestable. I don't know. I don't encourage everyone to make up your own mind on that one. That looked awfully deliberate.
We'll let the viewers decide.
You decide. Put it in chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
And we see it is. Someone said it is.
They're probably saying, thank you for having these broadcasts so that we can look at this stuff.
Well, I'll tell you what, Thomas, P12, these yellows have definitely helped him, and he's worked his way up into the mid-pack.
Okay,
he's
so
looking pretty healthy right now.
AJ stopped for new tires. So from 13th and back, everybody's got new tires.
Interesting. So, and that's interesting because P12 and P13 are teammates, kind of. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to make a quick decision, and otherwise they're going to really have a hell of a train, an angry train right behind them with Fraporti, Baroni, Dakota, Romero, all those guys back there. Actually, Romero is 4 laps down, so Fraporti, Baroni, and DeMade, they're going to want to look to go forward with those new tires because time is running out.
And I also think, going back to what you said and our fuel strategy discussion, I think they didn't need to stop for any fuel in this one.
No, we were done after about the third.
I think this was the 4th.
Second caution for sure, but the third caution, second caution maybe, but the third caution for sure. But really, we've seen and here is a great start here by Demerit. We've seen how well new tires do here. So trying to go with tires that long is not a really good strategical idea. Mm-hmm. Not a good strategic decision.
I'm actually going to go on board with AJ here. He's got those fresh tires. All those cars in front of him are on 20 to 30 lap old tires. And
AJ's going to want to stick that nose on the high side through 3 and 4. That's the best way to get around, and he's got to pick off a car lap.
Oh, that's a lapped car that he's actually working on there. I was like, what position is that car? But yeah, Thomas ahead of him in that Gulf Oil livery is what it is. Between a little contact between AJ and that lapped car. That's actually Fraporti. Behind him is teammate, and I'm not sure who this is. Not Romero. Yeah, I'm not sure who that lapped car is.
Demerit pulling away, and man, if I don't know better, and I don't want to jinx him at this point, I think we're looking at a possible Grand Slam.
Yeah, he's led everything so far.
Led everything, best lap, wins if he does win the race, and then of course sits on the pole. That is the Grand Slam. That actually happens more on road courses, very rare on the oval. So, wow.
Christian Hassan just had a really high moment and caught the wall in turn 2. He is slow. He's on the pit lane.
Okay, so that's going to allow kind of everyone else to move up a freebie there.
Yep. Yeah, he's hitting the pit lane. Tough break for him.
Yeah, he was in the thick of the action all day.
I think that has to do with those old tires a little bit. And Demerit is already catching lap traffic. One thing I wanted to say, Gary, is Demerit has had some bad luck on our broadcast so far this season, so I don't want to jinx him just yet.
But, hey, I tell you what, that lap traffic was really, really generous getting out of his way.
Yes, they were.
And look, even through the dog leg, he goes right up near the wall where it's extremely dangerous.
Now we've got Santos and Sid coming through that same lap traffic. Bruno Miranda also. Two and a half seconds almost for Demerit up there.
Yeah, he's wasting no time. He wants to close the book on this one and then call it a night after this.
Looking for good battles on the track. We've got John Silva and Jeff Hassong here.
P7 and 8, yeah.
Yep. Is that Rigon? Yeah, Rigon is in that one as well. So,
and is that P9 Beto Sousa, the lone B license holder in this split? B license go.
They are teammates, Rigon and Sousa. That is I'm not sure what the team is on that one, but it's the one that Zhao, our good friend Zhao, runs. The Bread King car. Matt Mercer there in 10th, working on Sousa. Ooh, a lot of cars ahead of them. Let's have a look at this.
Now the lap traffic back there for that position.
This is where you were mentioning that story about Robbie Gordon earlier today, and I was like, yeah, I could see that, because once you get into these long green flag runs, and this isn't even a long one, and you got lap traffic all around you, you can really lose track of it.
So, the story to that in 95, Robbie Gordon for Walker Racing, this is how much we rely on our wheels for all of our information and everything. It's data. I need my data. I got to have it. Newman Haas really wasn't keeping Michael Andretti up to speed of where he was in his position and everybody around him. And with about 5 to go, he let Robbie Gordon pass him, and that was a pass for position. And at the end of the race, he said, I had no idea I was the leader.
Well, Robbie thanks you.
For sure. So we got Demerit coming up on Francis, who is running with half a side pod.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Not
fun.
That is not fun. No.
Ooh, Miranda just got around Sid on the high side through turn 3 and 4.
I think we're running out of time here, though. 7 to go. 19 seconds a lap. It's going to go by pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah, indeed. Yeah, speaking of 19-second laps, the only driver to run a 19-second race lap here is Demerit.
A 1986.
Yeah.
Appropriately so.
A very fast lap. Gonna be a good run for Santos and going like by car numbers, like iRating. Santos is number 9. Miranda going to be happy with his iRating game if he can finish the next 5 laps. He's number 20 in the field.
Slated to get, I think, an iRating increase of about 98 for Miranda, 81 for Santos. So that's a nice little payday.
We got Demerit, number 1 car in the number 1 position. This one's kind of gone how he wanted it.
Yeah, this is kind of by the book. You expected a couple of yellows, managed to get in there, hit his spot, get out before everyone else, lead all the laps, put them in the distance, and call it a night.
We were talking about Dakota and interviews. I don't know if he's going to want to be interviewed here, but he said he'd be interviewed
if he stays on the lead lap.
And he is on the lead lap. So that's why I wanted to mention this.
Coming 2 to go.
Side by side with Geisler and I believe that's Mercer on the inside. AJ trying to get up. He's in 12th, trying to get in that top 10 position here.
Coming to the white. I do think for sure that IndyCar should come back here. This is part of their West Coast traditional swing. It's a short oval. These cars run great here. They should return. But these guys are kind of showing how it's done.
Yep. Okay, final lap. It's almost done here. And we're going to have Chris Demerit taking the victory here. Victor Santos still in the 4th corner. He's coming out, and he'll take 2nd. Miranda 3rd. Oscar Sid 4th. Trace Shadid, he's still coming out. He'll be 5th. Geisler gets that top 10. Going back to whether they can come back here or not. Sure, certainly, but the fans have to show up if they do.
That has been the biggest problem with getting the IndyCar to come back here to Phoenix. Is that used to be, if you go back and watch some old videos, you find them on YouTube, the stands were packed for IndyCar, and then starting really kind of about to split, no one started showing up, and it was just continued to be a problem.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is a track everybody wanted on the schedule again. Demerit doing his victory donuts there.
A little close to the wall. There we go. It's the wall.
Right when you said it. There was yesterday in that Long Beach race when he was.
Yeah.
Palou and
Palou,
they were both pretty happy about that race. So. They were both pretty close to that wall. Demerit knows how to do this burnout here.
Yeah, that's what you do. Is you put all your brake bias up to the front, and you kind of drag the brake a little bit, and there you go.
And then you do a Polish victory lap.
Not sure what this orange car's doing. No.
Was it Thomas or he blew it? He blew it up.
Well, you're not going to use it anymore. So
this is when in real life they'd be saying, "We got to use that engine. It's not mileaged out." So
grid penalty next week at Legacy Charlotte for Christopher Demerit.
Yeah. So let's go through our final results here. I'm not sure if we're going to have any interviews here tonight, but let's go through our final results. This is Monday night Indy Fix Strength of Field race 8:15. Chris Demerit's going to take the win. Victor Santos P2, Bruno Miranda P3, Oscar Sid P4, Trace Shadid, Jeff Hysong, Alexander Rigone, John Silva. He runs over in the FIS series. We're going to be broadcasting that tomorrow night. I heard a car at speed just go by. Beto Sousa, P9. Thomas Geisler, P10. Matthew Mercer, P11. AJ Musselman took a gamble for new tires. Didn't quite work out for him, but, he didn't, he tried. Adriano Fraporti, Marcia Baroni, Dakota DeMade, Christian Asan, Gonzalo Romero, Pablo Diaz-Frances, Daniel Rufero, Carlos de Aguiar, Carlos Washington, Kwame Eric, Nacho LDR, and Tyler Lateral. He had a tough break in that one. He was running in the top 5 when he had that incident. Yep. So I think that's...
Chris got the Grand Slam. He got the pole, the win, the fastest lap, and led them all on an oval.
Well, next week we're going to a Legacy Charlotte, so I guess that's kind of like the Charlotte that IRL ran back in the day.
Yep.
Obviously, there's some bad memories there, but some, good memories too, I suppose.
Yeah, there was some pretty good races there, other than the one that they ended up stopping short because of the debris that went into the stands. But I actually went to the first one when they went there, and that they put about 100,000 in the stands, and the fans were eager to watch the Indy cars go there. But like a lot of times it happens, the polish wore off, and the next couple of years, less and less people showed up. But Indy cars at Charlotte was always something I was interested in seeing for real. And once they ever announced it on the schedule, I went there and put my money where my mouth was, and that was a fun trip.
Well, back to our the year 2021. I hope that people are putting their money where their mouth is on, like, say, the Iowa race that's coming back next year. To keep that on the schedule, for instance. Everybody says, let's get more ovals, but you got to put the money where your mouth is. So, heck, even if you're not going to go, buy a ticket anyway and give it to somebody that is going to go. But yeah, that's it for us tonight. I don't see anybody interviewing, but thanks for everybody for watching and watching the replay. We get probably more on the replay watch than we get on the actual live watch. But thanks for watching. Thanks for broadcasting or doing the color, Gary. Next week you're going to be doing the broadcasting.
Yeah, it'll just be me, and I'll have a guest color commentary. We'll do Legacy Charlotte. So back to a mile and a half, not a cookie cutter. It's one of the quad ovals. And we'll see how these guys do going from a mile oval to a mile and a half.
And that'll be a double header for you, because you're going to be doing Charlotte Legacy, and then you're going to be doing Charlotte Normal, I think, anyway, and the DW12 later that night. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a little bit different than
that was a lot more stressful.
Your opening race over in the Lionheart Speedway at Iowa. That's going to be a little bit different than that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody take care. We'll talk to you guys next week. We'll be right back here tomorrow night in the Formula Indy Series at Red Bull Ring, and later this week in the BMW Series at Watkins, I believe. So take care.
And good night.
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.